Him fresh for the medley relay, but here's a guy that's ranked first this season, 9th fastest performer in history, has to be considered the huge favorite here. I think it's smart. Put him back in here and get some jackpot points, and almost think that the medley relay has to become secondary. You hate to say that, but the points here are critical because, as you said, they're fourth.
Well, the story for London at the moment, a year ago they were 9.5 points behind Energy Standard, but they currently find themselves fourth. I don't think that they thought this late in the day on day number one, about halfway through this match, they would be fourth. So you really have to up the ante because you want to make sure that that medley relay still is going to be a difference maker for your team as they try to vie for the championship. And there is Vinny Lanza and there is Andreas VAZAIOS. Between the two, 5 wins, and squarely this becomes a huge event for London early on. And for the current, they counter back with Andrew Селискар, who's won this event 3 times.
Yeah, Селискar has to be back to where he was at the very beginning of the season when he won 152.9. That comes in as the 3rd seed of this group. VAZAIOS was considered the favorite, but now I definitely give the edge of Scott, at least based on 1 week ago. And London could get back in this in a big way with a 1-2 finish. And that's exactly what Coach Mel Marshall was counting on. Let's go 1-2 here and gain some emotional momentum going into that relay. Might be more important than the actual relay itself. And remember, the relay is still an hour away, so Scott's got plenty of time to rest.
Timon Voss has had a really good start to his career.
He has.
He's up in lane number 2.
Boy, 23.8. LA is going 1-2 right now. That's very fast. That is about a second faster than Voss has been all season going out. Certainly the rabbit.
And again, at the moment, LA and London separated with 4 lanes in between them.
Scott was 27.2 on his back. He's 27.8 there, so he's come back a little bit to the field, which gives VAZAIOS a bit of a head start here, because VAZAIOS might have the slight advantage on the breaststroke. They were dead even on the semifinals, but Scott has the advantage on the end. But right now, look at Селискар go.
Селискar trying to get LA back into the mix. That was the story for Dave Marsh. They scored it on paper, and he said, so you're saying we have a chance. Don't count out the current folks, because they have been unbeaten in the relay on the men's side at the end. But it's a battle between VAZAIOS and Селискar to see who's going to win the race. And again, with a jackpot time of 4.4 seconds, will the extra points be going to LA, or will they go to London? Селискar is going to hold them in for LA. He gets the win. The current needed that one, folks.
Well, as much as London needed it, so did LA. In a way, they were 3rd, but only 5 points ahead of London. And you can bet Coach David Marsh and Coach Jack Roach, you just saw on the screen, are happy campers right now. Here's the Селискar, who goes a 1.5 seconds faster than he's been all season, Bernie. He 32 flat on the breaststroke was the absolute key. The fastest he's been was 32.8. So he goes almost a full second faster on the breaststroke. He goes 27 on the 4, dead even with VAZAIOS. Scott came back. Scott came back at 26.7. Too late.
15 big points going to the current, and they are now in 3rd place, down to Mark.